Susquehanna senior equity research analyst Mehdi Hosseini joining us this morning with the buy rating on the stock, price target at 200. Mehdi, it's good to have you back. We put a lot of weight into what Sanjay tells us about the cycle because he tends to be a pretty straight shooter when it comes to sort of qualitative comments about where we are. What was your reaction, especially coming off of the call?
I think the reaction was pretty much in line with expectation. We have been writing about the better pricing environment due to a richer mix of high value added product as well as a very disciplined spending environment. But I think the most important takeaway here, which I don't think Sanjay is going to elaborate on a live interview, is who is actually doing a lot of buying. Unlike prior cycles, actually prior cycles were driven by distributors and the OEMs and ODMs buying. Unlike those cycles, it is NVIDIA, it is AMD, it is Broadcom, Avago that are actually doing the buying. And when you look at the AI, what NVIDIA charges, which is about 80% of the AI server, majority of that is going towards memory. So it is NVIDIA that has to buy from Micron. And this is what gives Sanjay pricing power. The future of AI compute requires advanced memory, and that's where the premium comes in. And this is why this cycle is sustainable throughout 26, and it may even sustain into 2027.
Right. Does that kind of customer concentration make this cycle more durable than others?
Well, if there's a customer concentration, then the same laws of physics should be applied to NVIDIA. They have a customer concentration, and that would trickle down to suppliers to NVIDIA. So yes, there is a customer concentration throughout the AI supply chain, and Micron shouldn't be penalized for that because that's the downside risk to the overall AI spending.
2% decline on the heels of the report is not much considering how much it's gained for the year. Does it remain your favorite name in the space?
Yes, and I think what investors haven't realized is not only supply is going to remain tight, the next generation of an AI chip, Rubin, is going to require even more advanced DRAM, and Sanjay is going to be able to expand margins towards 55 or high 50%. That's not dialed into the stock, and I think ultimately earning power is around $20. So even if you don't expand multiples, this is a $200 stock price.
Where does it leave you on some of the other parts of the business? We've had some upgrades lately on the sell side of semi-cap equipment, but I noticed you got a hold, for example, on AMAT.
I think with AMAT, there are some challenges in China. The local Chinese equipment suppliers are catching up. I do like Lam Research because they're over-indexed to memory spend, and I think at some point in the second half of 2026, memory spend would have to pick up. We're not going to have enough supply. And then on top of that, what you get with Lam is increased market share. They have a new product. There's a new material used in making semiconductor chip, and that's the gravy on top of everything, and I think Lam is well positioned. The other name that I like, which has had a nice run over the past couple of weeks, is ASML. I think Taiwan Semi is going to be the largest spender in 2026, and ASML is also over-indexed to Taiwan Semi spend.
Right. Since we have you and we got a couple extra seconds, we essentially have been asking everyone what they make of the circularity in the NVIDIA business model. Today,
right.
Someone compared them to an investment bank when you look at Intel and CoreWeave and now OpenAI. What do people say about that dynamic in your circles?
Look, vendor financing is very concerning. It reminds me of the days that I used to cover solar back in 2008, 2009. Some of the material suppliers were investing in solar projects. So to some extent, some of that is going on. But what is critical is AI compute is a lot more sophisticated. I think at some point, this is going to backfire. I think at some point, there's going to be some sort of a consolidation and a pause. But a couple of months ago, I thought that pause is going to happen in 2026. I think is being pushed out to 27. So if vendor financing is going to come back to hurt us, that timing is definitely pushed out. There is a very strong trend in spend, and then you ask the ROI question later. And I think that the ROI question is pushed out to sometime in 27.
Interesting. There is a benign way of looking at that kind of financing, and certainly, if you're right, that has huge implications for next year. Mehdi, appreciate it very much, both on NVIDIA and on Micron. Thanks.